Hey, I'm Joe Scacciaferro, and this is On Location. All right, as I know I always say this, but this time, this is for real. Can I say love? I really love this next person. She's come up with us through the ranks, and she's just gone on. And she's a production coordinator, freelance production coordinator over at Bed Bath & Beyond, which actually has a lot of production. And she's been, you know what? Let me let her tell you. Jess DuBois. Hey, Jess.
Hey, Joe, thanks so much for having me.
I told you, you ever want to be cheery? Make sure you grab this episode and just watch it. Jess will make you so cheery. She is the most upbeat person I have ever met. And for all the time I've known her through a lot of stuff, that big smile is who you always get. So, Jess, let's get into where you are currently. Give me a quick description of what a production coordinator does and what you're doing at Bed Bath & Beyond, and then we'll go through the litany of all the other things that you've crossed over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. So as a production coordinator, I know it sounds very clean cut, but I do coordinate the production. So therefore, doing that, you crew up the production, you find a good crew, you find a good cast, you get the location, you take care of all the travel arrangements, make sure people can get from point A to point B. They have places to stay. I would take care of permits, anything along those lines. I joke a lot and I call myself a paperwork gremlin because that's as true as it gets. If you're looking for me, I'm like buried under a bunch of papers and my clipboard, I always have it next to me. So right now at Bed Bath & Beyond, I am coordinating with a few of their packaging photography studios. So doing that, I'm mainly just a point of contact for all buyers, art directors, sellers, stuff like that for their products. And then I just basically oversee production in the studio and make sure that everything is running like a well-oiled machine and everything that, the higher ups need is given to them at the point that it's, the deadline is due.
You just made that sound easy. I know, having been and am production coordinator and manager, it's not an easy job. Things like you were saying, oh, and then I get a crew, and then I interface with the sponsors, and then every one of those things is difficult.
It is.
And every one of those demands a in-depth knowledge of what all those people do. Just the crew alone, right?
Yes. And one of the reasons why I personally think that I thrive in this environment is because, I've been in the industry for a few years. Thankful to you. You took a chance on me when I was younger, and I am where I am now because of it. I always have to give credit where it's due. But yeah, it's difficult, and I tried in so many different fields to find out what it was that I liked. I did camera operating for the Giants with you guys, which was phenomenal. It was such an incredible experience, but at the end of the day, I'm not a big sports guy. So it was a great experience, but it was something that my heart was somewhere else, and I think with each different job title that I had tried and with each experience, I learned, hey, I like this aspect, but I don't like this aspect. And I think, being a style assistant, stylist, a production designer, I've done every job title you could think of aside from editing and being a key grip. Those are like the only two things that I say I have stayed away from. So I think having a little bit of experience in each role allowed me to network. So that way, when I am hiring people, I have a good core base of people that I normally go to if I need something, And I also know what they need, and I know how stressful the job is. So I could be accommodating with that, without putting too much pressure on each department head.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. And you just said a whole bunch of stuff that we have to unpack here. Let's start with, you said, I did this, and I did this, and I did that, and I did that. Having been around this industry for as long as I have, that's not an easy thing to do. to just all of a sudden get another job with another title and another set of skills, because the two things you need to do is you need to learn those skills and you
Yeah.
need to find a way to network yourself in. So let's talk about how you managed to network and move around and keep trying. It's interesting in the special needs world, that's called job sampling. But how did you actually get a chance to do all that?
To tell you the truth, and this is the best advice I have to anybody who wants to do anything, regardless if it's production or not, be nice to people. If you are just nice to people and you ask questions and you can show that this is what you want to do, people notice that. They notice that and they want to work with you and they want to teach you because they could see that you care and you take it seriously. So honestly, I owe it all to networking, I have to say. Like when I was working for M. Night Shyamalan, I started that entire like press junket summer, as a COVID compliance officer on the set. My first day, I was the COVID compliance officer. And toward the end of the summer, I was the production coordinator. So it's all about doing what you do, doing it well, and then networking with the right people and making sure that your intentions are clear, that this is what you want to go moving forward. And for the most part, especially if you have people like, I'm gonna compliment you again, Joe, but if you have people like you in your life, that really care to help you move forward, it makes all the difference in the world.
Thank you. And I have to just say, people think I'm a nice guy based on these interviews. I'm really not.
No, you're a hard ass. You are a hard ass, but you need to be. You need to be.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, Jess, what I did is open the door for you. You took advantage of situations, which you continue to do. And taking advantage is actually a positive, because you came in and you met the crew and you talked to the crew because you have a great personality, and you were able to have them show you things willingly because you were excited. As you said, you got excited about whatever they were doing and you learned, and you're a sponge and you kept learning. Whether or not that was your end aspiration, you took the time to learn the skill to find out whether you did or didn't want to do that. So, I mean, so again, you're giving me a lot more credit than I deserve. I got you in and you took advantage of it once you were in, which is great. That's exactly how it's supposed to work. You've crossed over from broadcast to film to photography. How different are those disciplines and those people in those disciplines?
That's a very good question.
Thank you. I'm very good at this.
Yeah, you are. You are very good at this. I have to say, so far in because like you had mentioned, I had worked on features. I've done press junkets. I've done commercials. I've done photography, music videos. I mean, what I've learned now is I'm having the most fun with photography. I mean, it's packaging photography, especially. Listen, I'm shooting pots and pans all day. That's pretty phenomenal. I don't have to worry about talent. There's not much I have to worry about. I have to make sure the lighting's good, the camera's good, the stylists and, the photo photographies and photo assistants, they're good. It's ideal. I love the photography world. Since I started dipping my feet in it, I'm having a blast here. But, as far as like films go, when you're working on features, I mean, I personally myself have worked 22-hour days on non-union stuff. But I'm also so fortunate where I love what I do. And when I say that, I mean it wholeheartedly. So I don't notice that I'm tired and I've been working like a maniac until it's hour 12. And then I'm like, oh, I'm a little tired. So, I mean, being able to do that is phenomenal, just to have a job where I'm able to do that. But yeah, it's so different. Photography, in my opinion, I don't want to say anything is simpler than the next, because each like realm of media is so different and so much goes into it. But there are similarities between each like different realm that I've been in. And I think that the main similarity is that the people in the industry are incredible. I mean, they're some of the wackiest people I've ever met. Camera operators, grips, those people know how to have a great time and make the best out of your long days. I have to say, like, it's the people, it's the work environment. Everyone has the same goal. And from my personal experience, I haven't had much people trying to knock me down and not help me succeed. So I think that people really, that's the overall similarity.
Let's talk a little bit about the film world.
Mhm.
So when you dropped into that, that was new, right? Because you had come off of our crew, which is network broadcast,
Yes.
and moved into film. And again, you moved into it on your own. So let's first talk about how did you discover the film? Because it was an indie, it was mostly indie films, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So it's all about being at the right place and taking the right opportunities at the right time. I know that sounds so crazy, but I worked on Terrifier 2. I made a bunch of wonderful, wonderful friends on there. And it just so happened because I was directing a haunted house at the time. And one of my coworkers had said, "Oh, they need extras for a high school scene." I look like I'm 13. I said, "Sure, why not? Let's do it." I could do it. So I went there really early in the morning. They were shooting on Staten Island, and it was so funny because when I found out it was Terrifier 2, I was like in shock because I was such a die-hard fan of the original with no idea that it was shot in Staten Island. No idea I had so many connections to the writer and director that I had. I mean, it was insane. So I ended up there, and slowly by becoming an extra and becoming an extra, which fun fact, I hate being on camera. So even this is outside of my comfort zone. But yeah, and it just worked in, and I networked my butt off. And I made some friends that now, I mean, those are my friends for life. So I'm very fortunate. And I do have some projects coming up with some of the reoccurring crew from then. So it's gonna be good. I'm very stoked for all the things that are coming this year.
And we talked recently, you said one of the, it's the aspiration, it's where you go from here. You were talking
Mhm.
about trying to get into producing. Now, producing as do a lot of these titles. And once you jump sectors, the words change. A
Yeah.
director in broadcast is different than a director in film, which is different than a director in theater. Producers have those variations. And since you've been in several sectors, which producer are you looking to do?
Can I be honest with you? Even better question. I'm still learning. I'm learning every day. Every experience I have, I'm like, I like this, I don't like this. I want to take this, I don't want to take this. I'm at the point right now where I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not, and I'm starting to find out what I like and what I don't. So, I'm trying it. Like right now I'm producing a short film. Last week I produced a commercial for a lending company. So right now I'm doing a short. I did a commercial. I'm trying to produce more press. I'm gonna see how that goes, like press junkets and whatnot. Um, I think honestly, what I've discovered over the past couple of months is that I would like to steer away from the film world. I don't think I'd like to be working on features for the rest of my life. Um, and I do. I prefer to keep it short, simple. I like photography. I like commercials, music videos. I always have a blast with. I mean, it's like so hard not to have fun making a music video.
Hmm. You want to hear some stories? I can tell you plenty of
Oh,
stories
please.
why, why I
Horror
didn't have
stories.
fun. But anyway, let's get back to let's stick with you for now. Why not film? What in film um, is starting to get old for you?
That's interesting. I think a lot of it has to do with the pandemic too, because keep in mind, I had graduated from college in May of 2020. So like right during the height of the pandemic. So when I was so stoked. I was like, that's it. I got my degree. I'm ready to like tackle the industry, which was not fully the case at the time, I have to be honest. So I've gotten kind of accustomed to working from home and doing all my pre-production while I'm in bed in my cowl robe, and then going to set when I have to be on set for a few days out of the week. And that's a schedule that I've gotten very comfortable with, and I like it. I like being able to do all my pre-production planning on my own time. Cuz I'm a lunatic. I don't stop until I finish what I'm doing anyway. So
Right.
I'm going to burn through it, but I just like to burn through it in bed. And then, when it comes to shooting, then I will shoot and I'll be on set and manage anything, going on set wise, like on location. But yeah, I've kind of found that this is a flow that I'm comfortable with now.
Producer in our world is a conceptual developer, kind of what a more of a director is in film. So producer in video broadcast, and whether they're promos, whether they're features, whether they're network shows, all that. But producers are known to be the creative drive. Film, and I'm just really defining this not for you, but for audiences who don't jump. In film, producers are the financial. They pull the project together. They're more general contractor, get the money, hire somebody like yourself, production coordinator, pull the crew together, and then they kind of stand back. They get a writer, they get this, they get that, and then that becomes that. In network and in broadcast, it's not. Producers are the creative drive of a show. They're stylize the show. They work with writers, they work with actors, they work with talent, whatever it is. But you're involved, you're hands-on, you're on the front lines. And in photography, producers kind of more mimic broadcast than they do film, right? They're more involved directly in the creative, developing the concept. And I guess in your case right now, you would be interfacing with the product, whoever the manufacturer is, what they want their product to be and sell and look like. And then you have, wow, you got a lot of bosses. I'm just thinking about it. You've got the retail who's going to say no like this. Yeah. You've got the manufacturer who's going to say no like this. Then you've got art directors saying no like this. Then you got stylists saying...
Art directors are normally the ones saying no. The stylists are like, all right, we're going with whatever. But it's the art directors and the buyers that are like, all right, we got to tweak this one shadow in the upper right-hand corner that nobody's going to notice, you know? Exactly.
Tell me about stylists. I mean, I've only worked with a few in my life because I did a couple of things with Food Network. And that's when stylists showed up. And so tell me about how stylists vary and what their functions are.
So stylists, oh man, this is actually a lot of fun because stylists can come in so many different, like production designers, set dressers, and then prop stylists and anything like that. So like at Bed Bath, they have prop stylists. So they, say we have a brand and the set brand has a specific color palette that it goes with. So say we're doing a bathroom for a toothbrush. It's all within the same color palette, stuff like that. And basically the stylist is...
Wait. Time out. Wait. So we're selling a toothbrush.
And right? I'm building an entire bathroom for it. Yeah.
And you're building a bathroom that has to have a style book that matches the toothbrush. Is that what you just said?
I am telling you, these are jobs that people don't even think about. They don't even think about them. You know what I'm saying? But stuff like that to me is fun because also keep in mind, I do a lot of coordination, but whenever I do like enough coordination where I just kind of feel like my brain is all scrambled and I can't think anymore, I will always take a design gig because I'm like, yes. Let me just use my brain to paint something and make it beautiful. Let me design this room. Let me do whatever. It's like a form of like therapy to me after being so like, oh my God, paper is work. Oh my God. Then I could just like relax and decompress and be creative and then take a look back and be like, oh, I'm so happy with that,
Nice.
So I love stylists. I love designing. It's like that's how I treat myself when I feel like I've run myself into the ground.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Yeah. And you're working with stills too. It's not like things are moving and there's motion and there's people hitting marks
But this is why I guess in photography, and now I do not know if this is everywhere, so I don't want to speak on that, but at least with my experience, that's why it was like an 8.5-hour day, which in production world, people could kind of vouch for the fact that that's unheard of.
Yeah, that is unheard of.
You're bored to the same place every day for the same hours, and it's only 8.5. That's not too bad.
No, that's good because we don't even book 8-hour days. Don't even book in our industry. It's a 10-hour day. I mean, that's an accepted. When somebody asks me, well, what's the day rate? The day rate is this, and it's assumed that it's a 10-hour day.
Yeah.
Most of the time it goes 10 plus, but your base rate is 10 hours. So to get 8 is, I don't even know what 8 hours is.
I'm living the good life.
So that's fun.
Tell you, it's nice for now.
So let's talk freelance. Freelance is a big word in all of the entertainment industries. And it's sometimes hard for people to get their head around the fact that I don't get benefits. I don't have a guarantee that I have a job tomorrow. I don't get a pension. Well, everybody I know has those attributes. Uh, how have you adapted to, and how have you told whoever you're responsible with, significant others, parents,
Yeah.
anybody who influences your sphere, that this is how our world works?
I like just gotta laugh first. I can't even answer it right away. Oh God, freelancing. That's like a whole nother can of worms to open up. So basically, freelancing, for anyone that doesn't know, is that you're an independent contractor, and you work for yourself, which means that you are on the grind all the time. You are looking for jobs, you're applying for jobs. You panic when you have one single week where you're not working, even though you feel like you need that 1 week off to take a break. It's tough. It is very tough, and especially in the beginning. Like in the beginning when I started freelancing, I had a diner that I was working at a few days a week. And I would work at the diner and I would freelance so I could kind of split my week in half. So I was making money when I could and I had a fallback plan. And then once I graduated, I said, screw it, I'm just gonna go for it. And I quit the job at the diner and I started freelancing full time. And the first 6 months were rough. I cannot lie to anybody about that. I was thankful that I was in a position where I could take the risk if I needed to. And I took the risk. And now, is this absolutely ideal for me? You know, sometimes I have a day off here and there, but it's also really nice to have that time. And it's nice to basically make my own schedule. Like if I want to have a vacation in October, I can plan for that vacation in October and I don't have to ask anybody if I could take it. You know, if I make sure that I have that week clear for myself because I'm my own boss. I'm an independent contractor. So I work on my own terms. You know, I don't have to accept any job I'm not comfortable with or I'm not happy with. And that's another thing. If you're a freelancer, please do your research because you cannot trust everybody that's out there telling you that this magical position is open for a magical amount of money. Yeah, make
Yeah,
your research on who you're working for.
good thing you mentioned that because that is a major problem. And I'll tell you from the other side, from my vantage point,
Mhm.
there's a lot of people in positions of mine, or at least pretend they're in the same position, and they take advantage of the fact that creative people, as you are passionate, are desirous to keep finding gigs and work, and are excited about it. It's so easy to take. It's the old world, like 50s, when musicians got taken. Well, musicians still get taken advantage of. But yeah, and you could put the work in and never get paid.
Mhm.
Or you could go get the job, and the job was not even close to what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And you're hired to do one thing, and when you get there, you're working craft catering. I mean, it's a
In there.
crazy world.
Done that more times than I care to admit, to tell you the truth. But listen, also on those jobs, I'm not saying they work for other people, but on those jobs where I ended up taking 4 different roles for no reason that I had no idea I was even good at, I was able to put those on my resume and get jobs doing that stuff, in the future.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But yeah, seriously, do your research. Do your research. Make sure you're comfortable with who you choose.
Let's talk about something that politically maybe maybe I'm not supposed to talk about it, but it's definitely out there and people should talk about it.
Mhm.
Is there a difference? You're young and you're female.
Yeah.
And the industry is very male dominated. And I say across the board,
Yes.
in all of it, whether that's fair or not, it should or shouldn't be. That's not an opinion I have, but it's a fact. How was that for you? How has that been an issue, and how have you gotten around that?
To tell you the truth, I'm glad you asked this question because I hope that I could help somebody else that kind of struggles with imposter syndrome the way I do. It does. I mean, I've been doing this for years, and it doesn't matter how much experience I have. Every time I step on a new set, I'm like, am I prepared for this? Am I ready for this? And I know that I'm ready for this. I know I got a degree that says that I can do this. But still, I worry that and I think that a lot of it does have to do with the fact that I am a younger woman. I look younger. So a lot of times when I come on and I'm like, you know, I guess like managing the set, or I'm the point of contact and I'm the person making the schedules and I'm the person you need to respond to. People are like, these, grown men that are double my age are like, I got to take I got to take instruction from you. This girl's like 16, but one thing, I always get in my own head and I psych myself out. So I worry about that. But also, if you're just good at your job and say, screw you, I'm here because I got here because I'm better at what I do than you do, go for it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's definitely something
Yeah.
I face often, but I love to see how broad the community of just women, LGBTQ members, I mean, non-binary people, the industry has opened up so much. It really is. And I feel like it's only going to be opening up more and more as the years go by.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm going to also speak from a historical standpoint. Before all those were identified, it wasn't a thing. We don't, maybe at some points, I can't speak for everybody, but in all the productions that I've been involved in, music, television, film, theater, that just didn't cross my mind. It never, ever. And I'm not saying that to be, I don't see color, I don't see gender. Yeah, of course I see it, but it doesn't matter to me. It's skill set. That's what I've always kind of gravitated towards. But I was always
Absolutely.
curious whether or not that was a thing. And by the way, when you were talking about those moments of insecurity and you walk onto a set you don't know, I got a lot of years behind me. I'm still terrified. I'm up the night before. If I'm doing a show that I don't know most of the crew on, or I'm doing something that I'm holding a lot of responsibility for, and I know I could do it in my sleep. I know I've done it hundreds of times. Nope. And you've heard me say it, and I'll say it, and I say it, and I say it, and I say it. If you're not nervous, you don't care, because if you have to be nervous, because you're on the line, and you care so much about your craft or what you're contributing that you want to make sure you bring your A game.
Yeah.
And you can't just call it like that. Sometimes you're worried that you're going to be able to do, but then once you get on the set and things start rolling, your eyes roll back and you just go. You found that to be, right?
Yeah, like autopilot. It's like you don't skip a
Yeah.
beat, you just know what you're doing. But and that I am really glad that we touched on that, because I feel like when I was doing the press for M. Night Shyamalan's movie Old, one of the things that he spoke about was the fact that every time he gets on set, even he feels like the imposter syndrome takes over. And I remember sitting in that room like a foot away from him and listening to that and being like, oh my God, I'm not that bad. Like, I'm not that bad. It's okay. Like everyone goes through this, which I think is, knowing that you're not alone is sometimes like just the greatest thing to remember.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've worked with, incredible names, and that's not name dropping because I didn't, but I've worked with a lot of big names. And I've watched them walk onto their curtain call is in 3 minutes and they're in the bathroom throwing up,
Yeah.
or they're paralyzed with fear and their agents are pushing them out onto the set. And I'm talking big names, like legends. And I just sat there and go, this is amazing. Because I'm like that.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to me to see somebody, especially people who walk in front of 100,000 people.
Yeah, people you really think have their shit together, And to know that they are still nervous just makes all the difference in the world. It makes you feel like, okay, like take a deep breath. I got this. You know what you're doing. Just remember your name. Just remember your name.
Yeah. If you think about it, we're talking about theater people who, every night the show opens and they say the same lines. And the people came and paid money because they know the show and they know the acting and the cast. Mm-hmm. So you shouldn't be nervous.
Yeah.
Because these people aren't coming to judge you. They're coming to enjoy what they know you do, or a concert or a television show. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've already bought in.
Yeah.
So I don't know why the nerves are there.
I don't know why it comes out, but I mean, and like I said, just even hearing you saying that you feel the same way, like to me, you know, you're my mentor. You have been. You took me in when you opened the door for me. You know, you gave me a chance at a young age. First time I stepped on set was because of you, you know? And to know that
Yeah.
you still get nervous too sometimes, I'm like, all right, you're right. It means I care.
I get nervous so much that I decide I want to quit. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm like a little kid in myself. I'm like, well, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this. I want to go get a job at Costco. Please don't send me emails. Costco's a great place to work. And it's a wonderful place. And I would love to work at Costco's. But I do what I do, and that's what I'm built to do. God said, Joe, this is what you have to do. I don't want to do it. It's so terrifying to me. It's so stressful. I don't want to do this. And I go do it. And if there's anybody around me, I laugh at, like, you know, veterans. Rah, 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 I can do this with my eyes sleep. Just shut up. I know you don't. I know you're nervous because you're great at what you do. And if you're great at it, you're great at it. And in the end, what we do doesn't count anyway in the world of humanity. We're not healthcare workers. We're not saving lives. We're not, you know, we're not military. We're a bunch of, I call us, you know, the kids in the back of the classroom now have a gig. That's us. We spent our life in the back of the classroom screwing around, and this was really the only thing we were going to be able to do anyway.
That is too good. That is too good and so spot on. Because that was it. That was me. I wasn't even, I mean, if I told you how I even got into this industry, you'd be like, how? You know, like I was going to school to be a social worker. I was going to school to be a social worker. And I couldn't pass a math class. There was one math class and I just could not pass it. I took it like 3 times. I think it was statistics. No, I think that was it. And I just couldn't do it. So I called my sister in an all-out panic and I said, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? I can't pass this math class. I have no future. And she said, why don't you go and just become a communications major? It's so broad. It's so vague. You could do anything with it. So I hung up the phone. 30 seconds later, I'm in my guidance counselor's office and I'm like, hey, I'm switching my major because this is just how I handled my problems. So I switched my major to communications and I take a film class that I thought was watching films and analyzing films. And I'm like, I watch movies all the time. I could be good at this. It turns out it was me. So I accidentally took this class and it taught me how to make films. And my professor was like, hey, you're really good at this. And I was like, thanks, I'm having fun. And now fast forward however many years later, and this is what I do. And I can't imagine for a second ever doing anything else.
One of my all-time favorite editors. He's incredible. His name is Joe Barron. He taught me everything I needed to know about how to survive. And Joe tells the best story. You know, when he went to school, like us, had no idea what he wanted to do, had no idea what anything in communications were, or film or television. Mm-hmm. But he saw on the syllabus in the directory, it was a television major. And he went, like you, said, I like watching television. So he signed up and became one of the industry's most incredible editors of all time. Because he liked watching television. Yeah, there's no great thought. There's no great lineage to what we do.
There was no like, aha, I got it, you know?
Yes, none of those. There's no aha moment. My entire career, as far as I say it, is I stumbled on it. Yeah. People, how did you get to here? Well, I stumbled on that, then I stumbled on this, and I stumbled on that. And I'm listening to you and it's saying, oh, okay. So this is actually a career path, stumbling.
I have never intentionally ended up somewhere I meant to be. I have never ended up somewhere that I tried to be. If I wasn't a go with the flow type of person, I don't know what I would do, because I really am. I'm just moving along wherever the wind takes me. I want to try it all. I want to experience it all. You know, one day I will find my, you know, what I want to do forever. But right now, I mean, there's so many awesome jobs in production. There's so many things to learn, you know? And I feel like that's how you get better at managing people too, is understanding what they're going through in their department.
You said a buzzword right there, and I want to just land on that because we're running close to time here. Mm-hmm. Learn. learn, the word learn, to learn new skills, learn new opportunities, learn. How have you found the secret to learning? All these jobs you're talking about come with a skill set that you're not born with or you didn't learn in school. So how are you learning to move into these new jobs, or where and how does that all work for you?
I learn by, honestly, I write down everything. Any word, any conversation, anything that happens. I have my little notebook. I take it with me everywhere. Anything I hear, I write it down because I don't remember anything. So it has to be written down, And that's how I learn. I learn by doing. I've always said, like, I'm a 3-hit wonder that, I have to watch you do something the first time. Then you watch me do it the second time. Third time, I'm good to go. I'm on my own. But I need to learn. I need to visually see you do it, take my notes, do it myself, and then I'm good to go. And that's normally
Nice.
like how I learn.
So when you step into a new career, or or a new position, you're not coming in, or to date, you're not coming in with a skill set for that. How do you convince somebody to let you do that? Like, why would somebody pay you if they know you don't know anything about it?
I don't know why these people trust me, Joe. I'm kidding. I do. Because I'm a quick learner and I care. I feel like, I know I've said it a bunch and it all kind of circles back, but networking, being nice to people, speaking, I really wanted to do wardrobe assisting, right? I really wanted to learn more about wardrobe. I was working with a wardrobe stylist and I said, listen, this is something I really want to dip my hand in, just so it's a skill I have in case I'm on set and I could use it. It's always good to have those little things in your back pocket because that's also makes people want to hire you. And she said, no problem. A few weeks later, she needed an assistant. So she called me and said, I know you're capable of other things, so I could use your organization. I'm very organized. So that's I'd highlight that for people too. Just organize yourself. And yeah, and we organized, we dressed up everybody on a commercial and it was a great experience for me. And it was just because I wanted to learn. I put myself out there, asked if I could learn from her, and that's how it happened.
Amazing. Amazing. Jess, unfortunately, I have run out of time, but this has been so much fun. It was so great catching up with you. I have to say, I am very proud of what you've accomplished and that you're still the same person, except you've got a lot of attributes now behind you.
Thank you. No.
Yay, Jess.
My heart is like soaring right now. That means so much more to me than you know. I am so thankful that you helped me, and I just want to help everybody else succeed too. This industry would be nothing.
That's what we do.
Seriously, we got to help.
That's what we do. That's the whole secret. That's a secret. And that's Faro City. That's what we do.
Join the Faro fam.
Thank you for the promo. All right, dear. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
So much love.
Ciao.
Anytime.
God bless.
Had a great time. Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Appreciate you.